Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
Okay, now talking. Let's see.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not too. I sound loud to me, but I don't know.
You sound a little loud. We'll turn it down a little. I can't see 7. It should be like between 7 and 6. Yeah, I think that's good. Hello.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
I don't think we've ever recorded an episode on the same day that an episode comes out. We're never this on top of shit.
Well,
good for us. Congratulations to us.
I just showed up.
We're on episode 61. I'm going to read the little teaser before we jump into just a few. I want to come up with a good name for it now because we had Sense of Place for a whole year. Mm-hmm. And now I essentially feel like we're doing kind of like Justin and Christian's short list. Like they each pick 1 or 2 things from their week that they want to discuss. And they discuss it. So like, what do we...
The last time that you made it...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a bonus episode.
It may or may not.
That's right. I'm unwilling to commit to anything when it comes to this podcast.
So
I'm unwilling to make promises that I can't keep.
It's just...
For now, it's just, yes, that's right. Our pre-episode chat may be a bonus episode. It may stay in the episode. We'll just have to see. We like to keep you on your toes, listeners. So we're just going to, keep flip-flopping it up. But the episode's the most important part. Oh, thank God. Indiana's going to lay down with a bone. That's a real deer antler.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Wait. Hey.
I
don't know. Cat must be hurt. Wow, she's coming out. Okay,
hey, stop it.
Yeah, they were nowhere near.
They weren't even anywhere close to her.
I know, but they were playing before. Maybe it's just something hurt.
Come on, come lay down. Come lay down. Come on. Come lay down with your bone. Come on. Come here, Indiana.
No.
Indiana, come here. Come here, Hemben. Good boy. Good boy. Maybe her nail got caught in that green suitcase or something.
Probably.
Wow.
There's a Godsmack or something.
Yep.
You're all, she's laying down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A Godsmack. I like that. Right as soon as I was saying Indiana's laying down so nicely, Cat made a noise and both dogs charged him. We don't know. We do know, but we flip-flop him. Anyways, how are you?
I'm doing well today.
Okay, good.
It's the start of my week, Tuesday.
That's right. All right, I'm going to tell you about the episode briefly.
Mm-hmm.
In this episode, we dive into the harrowing 2011 massacre that shook the small town of El Rancho, New Mexico. We'll unravel the chilling details of a late-night burglary that tragically turned deadly and piece together the confessions, betrayals, and the shocking revelations that emerged from this investigation and paint a vivid picture of a crime that forever altered the fabric of this community. I'm not going to lie, ChatGPT helped me with that one. I'm a good writer, but sometimes my brain can't pull it together for those little snippets because I'm very long-winded. So I was doing well today until I had to call Navient, my student loan.
Dun, dun, dun.
My private student loan company. So when I lost my job last year, I called them and I cried on the phone to the lady. And I was like, I can't pay this. For context for our listeners, Navient is a private student loan company from when I was in college a long time ago. And my dad co-signed for it. So he's also on this. Ultimately responsible. And the payments last year, they were going to be very, very expensive. I think like $600. I called because I lost my job. They made an exception. They lowered it.
Because traditionally, from what I understand, private loans don't have the various repayment options that
Nope.
non-private loans have, like income based.
No, not
Right.
at all. They're very, very different than federal loans.
Federal, thank you.
Yeah. Great. And the woman said at the time, this lasts for 9 months. If in 9 months you still don't have like a full-time income, call us back. So yesterday I got an email from Dad. He got an email from Navient, said your payment, we didn't get your payment. And that's because for those 9 months it was on auto pay. It automatically came out of my account. And so I immediately knew why. Okay, they're trying to up it again. So I went on the website. Now they want $700 a month. And
I wonder if, I guess when you first did this 9 months ago, that's just the timeline they put. Because I was going to say, does it have anything to do with the tax?
it may, but my income for 2023
was very low.
Very low.
Right.
So I think it has to do with interest rates in the country. Because
Could be.
So I called today. The first guy I spoke to, he was like, "Can't do anything for you. Sorry. There's nothing popping up on the computer." And I was like, well I mean, what do you mean? I can't pay this. And I got off the phone. I was like livid. I was like, let me call back and talk to somebody else. Call back, talk to somebody else. Of course, I forgot to ask her name. She was very nice, very helpful. She said, the lowest I can get it is 602 or something like that. I was like, okay, I still can't do that. She said, you know what? There is another way. The computer's blocking it. Can you get your dad's financial info? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, what does he earn in a month? What is his mortgage? How much is his utilities? What does he spend on food? Blah, blah.
Jeez. I'm also wondering, how is that going to help?
Okay. So she said that the computer may be blocking different repayment options because his credit's too good. So I emailed Dad today.
To me, that makes me think they'd want to take off Dad's financial information altogether. But anyways, go on.
Dad, I didn't know if he would do it, but he did. He filled it out, all the questions I asked him, sent it back. I called back again. I get a third person. I explained the whole situation to her. She inputs all the information and goes away for like 10 minutes, comes back on. And like the second woman I talked to was so kind, so helpful. She's like, I'm certain I'll take it to the director. The computer may be blocking it, but we can take it up the chain and override it.
You didn't get her number to call her back directly.
I didn't get her name or number to call her back directly. The third time I called, the woman was nice enough. She was like, yeah, I can see if we can override, that they're not showing it. And she came back on. She was like, I'm sorry, the best I can do is interest-based repayment, which is $589. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't, I still don't have a full-time income. I cannot do it. And I literally just sat on the phone with her and cried for like 3 minutes.
Did she change anything?
She did. No, she didn't change anything. And I was like legitimately crying. And I was like, I was like, so, and she said, well, if you want to do that today, you have to pay it today. And then you have to set up auto payment for the next, whatever months. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I need to think about this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I guess I'm going to call back tomorrow and hope that I get a fourth person that's more helpful.
I'd say keep trying and you can't pay it. So you're not going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, so we're supposed to have dinner. Dad's supposed to come over for dinner Saturday night. That may not happen.
Well, for now, just say, they may contact you again, but just say I'm in communication. I'm in communication.
That's what I did. That's why I emailed him. I said, I'm on hold. And I said, but I did say in the email, I said, I did say in the email to him, I said, I'm on hold, but I don't think anything is changing. But just in case they contact you again, you're retired and you're dealing with an ongoing health issue.
Yeah.
Because that's what I told them too.
Well, yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, I mean,
we're all getting robbed for going to college and trying to better ourselves.
Honestly, that's what Mark said.
My loans are more now, and I've paid them, even though it's because I have income based, so it's a very low, quite a low payment, especially this year somehow. But it's not doing me any favors,
right? Because you're just accruing more and more interest
more than I took out.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. Mark, because I got the email yesterday when I talked to Mark. He was like, "Wow, way to like really make people feel good about getting an education and trying to like contribute to society." Like,
oh, of course,
it's awful. It's just awful. Like, I'm not saying that they should be totally forgive. I mean, I think that they should, most of them, but don't totally forgive them. But like, I have consistently paid this loan now for years.
As
at
long
this
as
point,
you're paying
I'm
towards
paying
it,
hundreds of dollars a month.
Let's do $100 for you. As long as you pay. They could put some stipulations like if you miss a payment, then we're going back to original or whatever.
Well, and I said to the third woman, I said, okay, so like, I'm telling you, I could keep paying the $500 I've been paying per month, and you're telling me no.
Right.
Like,
now you're going to get nothing for a while.
I was like, well, then I'm not going to pay anything.
Well, at some point they will get something. If it's, they will, because they'll come after you or dad in some financial way.
Yeah, they can't.
And then you'll be in a world of pain.
Yeah, they can't come after me though, unfortunately, and that's why
They have to work something out because dad will kill you.
I know, and I'm not willing to do that to dad.
Yeah, it's not fair to dad either.
I told dad the only
I
other
know,
option.
I know. We're going on and on. That's too much information.
All right. Anyway, so then that was this morning because I thought I'm going to get this out of the way so I can really be productive the rest of the day. And instead, it just I could cry.
You didn't get
now.
anything resolved. Yeah,
I got nothing resolved. I feel like I have this huge thing hanging over my head, and it just like dampened my entire day. And I'm trying to get out of it. So,
well, you just compartmentalize. Easier said than done, but
not good at that.
There's nothing you can do for now.
I know, so I'm going to talk about a murder instead.
Perfect. The world is looking up.
I did.
Should we talk about that climate change commercial too?
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
I mean, it's a real thing, but
What
I
is
don't
the
need
song?
to see it every. This land is your
yeah,
land.
yeah.
Now that song was just a silly song, right? But now,
nothing.
anytime I hear it,
I think about the world burning and flooding.
And
it's a very
it
effective
is.
commercial.
It is, but I don't need to see it every time I put on the Hulu or whatever.
Every time you're watching Vanderpump, you don't need to be depressed, reminded.
Peacock, yeah, exactly.
Oh, Peacock, yeah. Yeah, it is. That's a really rough one. I have something that might be cheerful for you. And thanks, Indiana. Indiana's in the background just gnawing on a giant bone. But, okay. So I saw this Instagram post the other day, and I really don't I'm not a big like Instagram scroller, TikTok scroller, unless I'm in the shower, of course. I don't remember, but I happened to see this, and it says, hundreds of people gathered in Union Square, New York to witness at Cheeseball Man 427 eat an entire jar of cheese balls. Cheeseball Man had been promoting this event with posters around the city for the last 2 weeks. His identity is unknown, but he's now crowned a local hero to many New Yorkers. And this is his poster.
Oh, yeah, I've had that big thing of cheese balls.
Yeah.
What's
and
on his face? A cheese ball? Oh,
like a mask.
yeah. Wow. Oh, that is a smaller cheese ball container, but
it is a little bit smaller, but like
he could totally. Did he do it?
Yeah, he did it. Look
Of course.
at how many people.
Well, you know what?
Just like watch him eat cheese balls.
Because the last big event in New York was when that protester set himself on fire around the Trump stuff. So I appreciate that cheese ball man is getting a lot of supporters, I guess.
I agree. That's true. That's why I was like, here's something positive.
I don't love those cheese balls. I'll make it negative.
I don't love them. The ones that Michael got?
Yeah, which are pretty much those,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I like
love 'em.
2 here or there. It leaves a weird mouth thing.
Yeah. It's that fake powdered cheese mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the last episode that we recorded, I said I had got some nice emails and voicemails and stuff that I wanted to read. I will say that the bonus episode that I put out Monday, which was the beginning of, episode 60, we were all over the place. Like it was fine, but we didn't even finish the dog story. How the dog ran out in front of the car because we got distracted by something else.
Well, already we've talked about student loans, climate change, and cheese balls. So apparently we are all over the place.
That's the name of this, if this becomes a bonus. So I just wanted to, because I have not been doing social media lately because we haven't been very regular lately. I don't know. This is from 12 days ago. This is from Chastity. I'm not going to say her last name. She sent an email to us and she said, in response to the latest episode, I just love listening to y'all. I say do what works for you and makes the most sense to you. And the cool kids like myself will be listening and cheering you on from the sidelines. I really love you guys. Chastity.
Nice.
Yeah, nice, sweet email. I guess in that episode we must have talked about like, are we going to do bonus? You know, what I've been talking about forever, over and over again.
Does that mean we're part of the cool kids?
Yeah, I think so. I think Chastity thinks we are, which I like.
The cool Middle-Agers.
Yeah. I have lots of things I could say about that, but I'm going to restrain myself.
Okay.
And then here's another email. This actually wasn't. This was a text message to our phone number.
Oh.
Yeah. It says, "Hi, Margot. My name is Casey. I listen to the podcast." She said something very nice about Cullen, and then said, it breaks my heart to hear about some of the negative reviews you've gotten and how much they've stuck with you. On that one episode before we kind of started back, I just did an update for it was like 10 minutes. And I was like, me and Jenna are recording tomorrow and we're going to get back to normal. You know, one of my best friends just passed away and I don't know how I got into the reviews.
What was the negative review?
Well, I did. Okay. So I know that one review, I reference it on that episode because I say,
the last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply. USAA.
The reviewer basically was like, I think Margot sounds really self-involved when she's just doing these podcast episodes by herself, which I could understand that. Like, I mean, the breakup episodes are gone.
Bonus ones? Or
the bonus ones, like I did one about Greece where I told the story of Greece. I did one about...
Did they come out...
Maybe
they're based on the... I'm not saying I didn't listen, the breakup ones, but maybe.
They might be based on that. I'm not sure. But I must have mentioned it in that episode because it did. That is the one thing that sticks with me.
Well...
Which is terrible. I wish the positive things should stick with me. Not the negative ones.
But that also lets me know kind of like what what's her face just said to Jax. In a way, that resonates because there's I'm not saying you're self-involved or whatever they said, but like it resonates.
It totally resonates.
Because the things that any of us can say like, that's bullshit. They don't actually know me.
Nope. I mean, I definitely said that on some of the episodes I did alone, like in the moment. It feels kind of like self-involved to be like talking about myself so much, but like, well, what the fuck else am I supposed to talk about else?
I don't know.
Read you a history lesson? Like, I don't know. So that's what I think she's referencing. And she said, oh, it is. Man, if I just shut up and kept reading her text message. She says, it's pretty ironic that the bad reviews you got were criticizing you for sounding self-involved, yet they were the ones who felt like their opinion was so important that they had to leave it in a review. And for the record, you did not sound self-involved. Even if some people didn't like the personal episodes, they weren't forced to listen to them. They could have just skipped them. And please stop apologizing. You don't owe an apology for anything. No one is entitled to anything from you or Jenna. Take all the time you need, and I'll be here ready to listen when you come back.
Are you apologizing a lot? Like when maybe we paused or whatever?
Yeah, I think in like the little, sometimes when we have a short bonus, I'll do like a little intro I did yesterday. Just like, hey guys, I cut this out of tomorrow's episode, so if it sounds a little choppy or like we just kind of jump in, that's why. And I do think I probably say I'm sorry a lot because here's a review on Apple Podcasts from April 7th that says, stop apologizing. Life happens and you're doing a great... Thanks, Indiana. Life happens and you're doing a great job, whether you're alone or with your sister. I listen to you guys either way. Great delivery. My only critique would be to get to the story sooner in the beginning.
Whoopsie.
Which we're working on.
No can do.
Yeah, there's a bunch. That's really the most, aside from this self-involved one, all of the negative reviews pretty much are just irrelevant information at the beginning.
Well, that's why they don't stick with you. Yeah.
Right. And I don't care about that.
And or we know they're true to be true and it's not about our personal character or whatever.
Yeah, that's why they don't bother me because we do talk too much in the beginning. We're trying different things now. This might be a bonus.
You guys should meet us when we don't have microphones in front of us. Also, I wish Mark was here because just for this part where it's like everyone's like, essentially saying you're an over apologizer. Mark would be all,
That's very true. That is funny. We got one other text message, very short, and I love that this is how he introduced it. He says, "Human GPS checking in. Glad the podcast is still going and sorry to hear about your loss." I hope he doesn't mind that I share this. He says, "If it helps, I lost my dad and 2 good friends within the last 6 months." And he said also, and then he gave us a suggestion for a story. So that was nice. Thanks, Human GPS. Because he must have done that because I said...
Sorry.
I said somewhere on a social media post something, guys, I'm totally fully ignoring Instagram messages. Like I'm just not even opening them and responding because there's so many at this point. And when I say so many, I mean like 25, not like
that seems like
thousands.
A lot.
Yeah, it feels like a lot to me too.
Also, didn't we talk about apologizing the other day? Not in a record, but like instead of was this with you or someone else? Instead of saying I'm sorry. Oh no, it wasn't with you. Because I have historically been an over apologizer. Like,
where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, just to make nice. Some of it's just like socially. Like I used to give an example at work when someone like ran into, like I was just staring at soup in the market one day and someone came barreling around with the cart.
Bumped into you
Me and I'm all, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was just being a human, right? So like that,
totally.
It's a silly example. But anyways, sometimes it's appropriate to say, thanks so much for waiting or thanks so much for your patience instead of, I'm so sorry it's taking so long.
Guys, thanks so much for your patience while we work out some kinks on the podcast.
Right?
I like that way better actually, because then
it's not like
it's like being grateful and not deprecating yourself.
Exactly.
I like that. That's good. I'm going to really try. You know something, and we've talked about this before, so I'll rush through it. Instead of saying but, you say and also. You told me that like, I don't know, a year or two ago, a long time ago. And it has stuck with me and I do it all the time. Like
right, which can also be overdoing it.
Absolutely.
I overdo it, but
and also. But I'm going to try to remember that to say thank you instead of or thanks.
However it comes out
right.
is appropriate to the scenario, yeah.
Right. Jane Buttkiss also left us some voicemails, but I don't have those set up right now, so I'm not going to play them.
Wow.
Do you remember what you said your job will be on the last episode?
My job will be, yeah. Oh,
what
yeah.
you'd like your job, like part of your role?
To, as you share the murder and how it plays, to come up with potential titles and or potential ideas for the social media post.
Yes, correct.
Ding, ding. And keeping timestamps of when we need to
that's
pause.
super helpful. Well, because you did that the other day, and I found that little sheet of paper. It was really helpful in editing. I mean, that's a 23-minute intro. I mean, that's a bonus episode right there. So I need to figure out what to say to transition so that when I cut that out,
that it works either way, whether you cut it or don't.
Right.
Or if it doesn't, you just cut this part. If you
exactly.
We'll just say. We
should close. If this is going to be a bonus, we could just, and the bonuses are so much more laid back. I'll probably leave that part in, and we can just say, thanks for listening to our banter. Now I wish I had a few more banter things. That's all I wrote down. I mean, I could talk about the student loans forever if you want.
No, thank you. Because I've got my own student loans and my own financial problems.
It really, no.
Oh, here she goes.
I know. I was going to say, I had a moment of, I'm usually quite good. I have become quite good at forcing myself to stay in the present moment and not panic too much about the future.
Which is usually really helpful. I've seen it for myself at times, almost can go not so well at times. Like,
yeah, I could see it
if you're pushing off what you need to.
Absolutely.
Like if you're pushing off adulting.
Right, absolutely. I think I've gotten good at like not worrying about like, oh my God, in a certain amount of time you're going to be 50. Like I don't generally attach like, oh, I should be here, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that by the time I'm this age. But I did have a moment today and I was like, when I'm 50, which is not, it's less than a decade away, like, am I still going to be like scraping for money to pay my student loan payments? And if so, I will feel like I should walk off a cliff, like I'm a loser.
Yeah, when I'm
Like,
still struggling, but
panicked.
this year I've been struggling more than I ever have. I was better off at, in my 20s.
Right.
But I've had that thought of like it grates on my confidence as a human adult.
As a human adult, yes.
Not as like how dope I am, but like as a human adult.
Yep, because I feel, I guess the shoulds that I sometimes feel have to do less with like relationship, like kids, relationships.
Well, yeah, because you don't want kids.
Right. So
I shouldn't have said that because you kind of do.
No. I mean,
you're pish posh about it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not something I want. It's something I would be open to possibly maybe in the future. But like all I own is my car. Am I ever going to own a house? Am I ever going to not be like, oh my gosh, rent's coming up. You know what I mean?
I hope so. You know what I mean? I hope that dissipates to some extent.
I really hope so too.
Because it is, even if or even when I knew I'd be okay or I had people to lean on.
Right.
It
does.
It was always right here.
See, and it hasn't been for me. I never really think about my age.
No, I'm saying my money when I've been month to month to month to month. That is not my age.
Oh no, yes, money woes are they're up front here on my brain. Jenna was just pointing to her back brain. I mean, and that's for years. Like,
right,
it
so
is
it's probably natural,
constant,
feels
stress.
normal. Yeah,
it's just part of life now. But the kind of relating it to my age, that I've never really done. I've never really thought of it because I never really think about like my age but for some reason today it hit me and I thought, if I am renting a little casita and struggling to pay my student loans when I'm 50, I'm going to feel so bad about myself.
Well, if you're not struggling to pay your bills or loans and you still choose to live in this casita or a little place cool, because you would have other options if you wanted to.
Totally. That's absolutely it. I just want to know that I have other options and that I'm not, I just don't want to be struggling. I want to buy the expensive peanut butter, you know?
I mean, I don't, but the expensive cheese.
Like once in a while. Yeah, exactly. Cheese. Anyways, all right.
I have a question.
Sure.
It kind of ties in, and now maybe you won't be able to answer with anything else, but what's your least favorite part of adulting? Which there's so many aspects to it.
I am going to tell you.
Okay. I don't have an answer of mine. It's so wide.
Gosh, it is really wide. Yeah, I mean, obviously bills, but I feel like that's like for everyone. Nobody likes paying their bills or student loans. Ooh.
I don't love car maintenance stuff.
I hate car maintenance stuff.
Thankfully, I have Michael usually does it for me.
Yeah.
But there's things like that where it's like not that big a deal, but that I really don't like to do.
Yeah, that's true. And I was just thinking in my head, like,
taxes.
I have to act like, civil, and I care about my relationship, so I can't just like be a crazy person, which is, I guess, not really adulting at all. That's just being human.
Well, no, it's adulting. I mean, think about younger, like teenage years. People are like, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting older. That's my least favorite part about adulting. Getting older and being concerned about my health, and
that's a good one. I mean, a bad one, good one.
Good one, bad one. Yeah. Oh, let's end on a high note.
Yeah, I guess you tried to spin it positive with Cheeseball Guy, but we really went down the drain.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a gray cloud today. Navient, really. I just, like, if anybody here works for Navient, A, can you help me out? And B, why would you work for them? I hate this company. And I know, and I try to be polite because I know it's not the people on the phone who it's not their fault.
No, they're just trying to pay their own student loans.
Exactly.
Actually, that's exactly why they probably get a break if they have Navient loans or.
Oh my God, maybe I should try to work for Navient. I wonder if I could do it remotely.
Well, probably. I mean, also like certain professions, if you work in the public sector,
Right. Well, yeah.
there's loan forgiveness.
Yeah, when I was a teacher, I had to.
Right, if you had stuck.
If I had stuck with it for a certain amount of time.
Anywho.
All right. Well, if this is a bonus episode, we'll say bye-bye and thank you
Later.
for listening. And please tune in tomorrow for the actual episode. And if this is not a bonus episode, then we're just going to keep right going into our episode. Okay, so let's beep, beep, beep. Well, you know what I should just do is stop the recording because I can always...
Death by Southwest is hosted by Jenna Schneider and Margot Carmichael.
Executive produced by Margot Carmichael.
Produced by Jenna Schneider.
Audio editing and sound design by Margot Carmichael.
Music by Soundstripe.
And a special thanks to Edward R. Murrow for letting us borrow his famous sign-off phrase, good night and good luck.